Well,
we can at least start. We can record the game.
Yeah, we can record the game. Recording now. Hi, hello. Did not record the recap.
I'm not doing all that again. That's ridiculous.
No, we're not redoing it. Like I said, the recap is not recorded. We are just going to record the game. But
Oh God.
Any other comments about last week?
Making me question my decision to have a character that has basically no ability in combat.
Well, I think it's a viable build, but we do have to test combat. So it's like in the right game, that's a viable build. In this game, everyone's gonna have every element of the character is going to be bad at some point because we're going to be testing so many different things. So
you have the combat guy right here.
This is true.
Yeah, this like Edward was talking about it. Like we were talking about this earlier, and I said I'm just gonna be standing on the sidelines, being like, yeah, go Guy, do a good job, you got this, and just like spending all of my time on buffs.
Okay.
Buffs to make you buff.
Buffer, buffest, buffet, a buff, buffest.
It's getting weird.
Buff. I can come with another one, I swear.
But you don't have to. So someone say something entertaining so I can finish reviewing this. No.
That did not come through at all.
Damn
You
it.
just made a stupid move.
Damn it.
What is Deadly Web?
I had to show a man who has owned a business longer than I've been alive how to attach a document to an email today. There's your fun comment. This is also like the 5th time I've had to do it. Anytime he needs to attach a document to an email, he calls me into his office. Like, sir? Really?
Okay.
I hate my job.
I think I understand this character a little bit better now. Probably would understand him better if I actually, made the character.
You don't understand my strange style of character building?
I understand it now. It just at first glance, I'm just like, I like this is weird. And then when you explain it, I'm like, this is really cool, especially since I didn't mean for that to happen, which is just the best thing for. Ooh, this does not work. There we go. Just the best thing for when you're making a game. You're just like, I didn't intend for that to happen, but it's cool. Hang on. What does he have? He has Heatwave, Incinerate, and Surge. Heatwave, Pressurized Heat.
I wish I had more interesting things to say, but I am not a terribly interesting person.
Distinct connection. Overclock. Search. I don't think Surge is going to be relevant here. Oh. I see. That's going to be interesting.
What's going on?
Okay. So, I was just kind of reviewing the character. I want to show off a little bit of what he can really do. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and cut the music for now. So, he stares you down. The soldier stares you down and just says, All right. let's put it this way: you don't have to take me out completely. Just impress me, and then I'll tell you. I'll tell your mother you passed. How's that sound? Without waiting for an answer, Cider erupts 4 meters in front of him. Kind of looks like he's digging himself out of the ground, like the warden in Minecraft. All right.
You got this, guy.
You got this, random guy. All right.
Alright, let's do this.
And you guys already have yours corporealized. One of you is riding your spirit. The other one is having their spirit ride them.
Yes.
So let us roll for initiative. That is awareness with dexterity.
I have.
It's a whopping 1.
I got a 2.
Yeah, 2.
You have 2. You have 1 awareness.
Yeah.
Okay. Is your dexterity 5?
No, it's 3.
Okay. So we got a 2, a 1, and a 3. He goes first.
I got 1 effort.
Yep, he got 2 effort. So
2
I didn't put enough effort into it.
I only rolled 1 die.
I got 2 effort.
Oh, he.
He, yeah. And I totally remember his name. I remember his spirit companion's name, but not him. Spirit companion's name is Cider. Remember that because I still wonder why I named him Cider. Aquas Toll, that's it. So y'all know him as Aquas. All right, so. All right. So. You cannot regain a will point until the thing that does it is undone, basically. So you still have that 1 cost from the spirit companion being corporealized. Now that you're under stress, though, you also get another 1 deducted per round. So he's at... All right. He is going to just yell. He's just gonna say, yeah. All right, Cider, flashy tech. Yeah, all right, our flashy technique, and which seems to be the case for most of his techniques, to be honest. And Cider just kind of like glows really brightly and flares outward, drawing your attention. He's going to make a spirit aid check. As a kind of like distraction. So, spirit. He has that synchronicity. Is that an extra d6 or an advantage? Guys, I know my own system.
There's a lot of stuff to remember.
I'm pretty sure it's an extra d6. Or generates extra effort on success, probably. When spirit uses an aid action. Okay. So you guys can. I would say this. Yeah, this would be an area effect, effectively. So you guys can make 2. Y'all can resist with 2, and this is you can resist with either will or. I would say reflex. Let me just roll. Oh wait, no, he's a big boy. Okay. Wow. Well, roll 2. Well, okay, so roll 2d6 for either fortitude or reflex.
Okay, so the ability we choose is the X or lower.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will is 4, so 1.
What was I have to roll again? I'm sorry.
2d6, and then you can you want either reflex or will.
be right under talents.
Oh, resistances. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
resistances.
I'm like, where am I looking? And I have a 3, so that's 2 degrees of success, right?
Yep, 2 effort. All right, you both managed to not pay much attention to Cider. You actually saw Aquas pull this off before. Where he used it.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, as he's running up the side here. Actually, you know what? He's gonna run up the side here, and when he's here, he's gonna pull an axe. He just kind of reaches under his belt and flicks his hand out, and an axe about this big just comes spinning out straight towards Micah. Okay, Micah.
Hey!
This being a ranged thrown, his strength is 4. Okay, so this is normal range for him. That's good. You can resist with 2d6. He's going to be rolling 3.
Because it's against the spirit, it's always 3 and below, right?
Correct. Hold on, what's weighted?
That's a big fat 0.
Alright, weighted object. Okay, so he has 2 advantages on this too. Weapons ranged. Oh, he only needed 1 of those advantages. Alright, well that's 4. And a thrown weapon usually has a +1, so Micah takes 5 wear on that.
So that just knocks down the will points, right?
Yep. I don't think Cider has anything much he can do with the Incendial except move to further shield Aquas. All right, that means we move to Alysse and Micah.
Cool. I'm gonna do the thing I always do. I'm gonna back the heck up. No. Make sure I got both. And I'm just gonna, as I'm like, Micah doesn't even turn around. It just starts like backing up, and I just turn to Guy and I'm like, yeah, go get him! And I'm just coordinate.
Heal times 2 plus 1 5, so 3d6 resisted by declaring equal to the number of targets. So
3d6. Should be 5d6, right?
yes. I was testing you.
Alright, so after having some of the leaves knocked off, Micah just kind of whooshes backwards a bit. Paddling backwards. And what's the resistance on it?
It's resisted by number of targets.
So just
1.
Okay, well let's... Well, you got 1, I think.
It's still 3 or below.
Yeah. Unless you have like Master Expression, but that's not available until PL3, I think.
Cool. But that's a success, right?
That is a success. That is
so Guy has 1 advantage on the next action you take. So 1 reroll. Enjoy.
Okay.
The flowers kind of like push up behind you and are like guiding your hands just a little bit, or guiding, like drifting in front of you and guiding your gaze to where you need to go. All right, Guy, you're up. Guy and Granite.
Alright. He doesn't want to stay up. What range band am I at in regards to him?
Each of these scores is a meter. Y'all can't see the squares?
They're supposed to
I
be
can see the
square.
squares.
Slightly turn your thing, because sometimes they like fade out. Like right click and turn.
Yeah, I just see the picture you got.
Weird.
Dark gray squares.
Yeah, let me see if I turn it off and back on. You'll if you can see it. Actually, that's harder to see. You see him now?
No. How many squares am I away? Let's just do that.
All right. You are 1, 2, 3. You're 4 from Cider and 5 from Aquas.
I am going to move close enough that I don't get a disadvantage. So, like, I guess.
What's your strength?
4.
Wait, what are you trying to do?
I was gonna move forward a little bit and then yeet him at the guy.
Okay. I mean, you're still gonna get disadvantage just because of the weight, but I would still might want to get a little bit closer.
I assume that's in a square.
Yeah, that there's one. Yeah, you're 2 meters away from Cider and 3 from Aquas.
I'm going to yeet him into the air. Try to hit it.
So you're doing it as an attack or just for distance? That's a very important difference.
I want to do meteor.
Okay.
But he needs to be going up in the air fast enough.
All right. So make your athletics check. You get a +1 from the hurling champion, and you have 1 disadvantage on it.
I'm not just being.
But also 1 advantage.
Well, you have 2 disadvantages and 1 advantage, so that comes to 1 disadvantage.
Okay. So I have 2 athletics. So I do 3, right?
Yep.
And that is. I have to get that under dexterity.
This is more of a sheer strength thing.
Okay, so I have to get under 4. Okay.
And then you have to reroll the 1. Ouch. Oh, just roll 1. Well, you got the 2 meters this time. Unfortunately, that's still not enough for Meteor to trigger because you need 3 meters in the air, don't you? Well, hold on. I'm going to be logical and fair here. You are more than a meter tall. So you throw...
Hey!
You are more... So yeah, you throw at least 2 more meters. You have enough for it to fall. Okay.
Woo!
Okay. So yes, Meteor has procced, finally. It's one of my favorite expressions. It's just so absurd.
Area is equal to half the meteors fallen.
So you're falling 3 meters at 3 or 4. We'll say 4, just for fun. We'll say 4 meters.
So it's 2 area. The effect: take wear from falling is normal, -1 wear from brace for impact. Then make the following attack against all targets on the ground. The ground itself rolls once for the entire ground itself.
Yeah.
Once for the entire area.
Yeah, just to see how much damage you do to the ground you land on. If anyone wanted to bother calculating that. All right. So let's do the falling damage first. Falling damage is ridiculous. 4 meters. 3, 6, 7, 8.
1, right? Just 1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 is what you would take, but you have brace for impact, so you do take 6 points of 6 will points of wear. Now what PL are you doing this at?
PL.
1. Yeah, 2. Okay, so it also costs 2 will points to do that, plus the 1 for this. So you should be a total of 10 will points down. Look, not 10. 8.
I'm at 11. Or 12, I guess.
12. Okay. So now roll the attack.
And it says the check. 1 from death from above. PL times 2 D6
So 5d6.
times 2 D6. Okay. Resisted by fortitude or reflex.
They're gonna resist with fortitude.
So that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Hold on. Okay. There we go.
Oh, nice. 4. Let's see. Cider first. 0. Aquas does as well as he can. So where? Okay, so it's. So you do 2. Okay, so you do 2 to Aquas plus the PL plus the fall damage, what you would have taken from fall damage for 11. 11 where to Aquas and 13 to Cider.
Yeah, we did it!
Yeah, you just come
Woo!
like you throw him in the air and he reaches his peak, tips over, and then just accelerates towards the ground as though gravity had suddenly increased, and yeah, the ground just erupts under them.
He looks like Yamcha. Got Yamcha.
Okay, his constitution is 3, so he's gonna reduce that by 3. Then I have 8, and he's actually gonna take a terror from this.
Woo!
Okay.
I tore his clothes off.
So that's a 3 plus 8. I think I found a problem.
It also seems like a lot of damage just to fall 3 meters.
Yeah.
On my part, I mean.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's what the beta test is for. Woo!
Indeed. You very nearly permanently injured him.
There's just a hole in his chest. Like, oh god, what do I do? Heat now, ice later.
Are you impressed? Eh?
Oh, he had the one advantage from you. So yeah, sorry, I just realized another mistake. He didn't. Tyler didn't have to do that reroll at all, or Manny didn't have to do that reroll at all because you counteracted this second disadvantage. Right. Okay. Regardless. Yeah, the ground erupts and he just ends up on his back. He's just like, okay. I think we're done.
I'm gonna walk over and like lean over and offer to help him up.
Thank you.
And then immediately just fall off Micah because I'm nowhere near the strength to help even just a man up. Oh, yeah, sorry. Awareness.
I'm gonna run over to Granite and just like throw him up in the air like what?
Woo! All right. I think the problem there was the fall damage more than anything. I think we should test with more regular attacks. But Meteor is like the most absurd attack in the game, so you know.
Rocks don't normally go up into the air, so I guess that's kind of something that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah.
Something that goes for it.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that fall damage is one of those things that you just can't do realistically. Because the numbers I have are realistic. All right. So, carrying on.
On our walk back, because I assume we're going back to the village now, right?
Absolutely.
On our walk back, can I use comfort on Aquas? Nope. Well, I don't know. Does he have an emotional tear from getting his ass handed to him? I just forgot comfort's an emotional tear.
Yeah, which is another thing. It's a little weird.
Pat.
Never mind, it wouldn't help in this situation.
Yeah, he's having trouble. Well, he kind of like shuffles along. He really doesn't look good. The suggested effect for this is cannot walk, climb, or swim for 1d6 weeks. We're gonna ignore the walk part for now and just say he can't run.
He can ride on
Can't
Micah.
swim.
Oh yeah, the combined encumbrance is not even like a thing for Micah, right?
Micah's encumbrance value is kind of ludicrous. I have 2 instances of Pack Spirit. And also Beast of Burden.
The two of you combined would be about 13 encumbrance value.
What's the base encumbrance value for a... Oh yeah, it's mounted Micah's encumbrance value is 16. So.
Got it. So, yeah, you're able to carry him back.
I just kind of pat him on the shoulder. You tried.
Oh. I'm a dummy. Well, in the future, I should remember that spirit imposition is a thing. In which case, he would have been brought down to... Well, in which case, he would come pretty close to decorporealizing. So regardless, I would say that's a winning move. Because he would have been, like, down to 5 will points at that point. Or something like that. 1 to interpose. He didn't actually have to move to do it. And then he would have taken the 8. Or the additional 11 damage. 15. 25. Oh, no. He would have decorporealized. And then he would have taken 3 psychic damage from that. So, kind of the same result. Let's just say he did that and didn't take the tear, but you absolutely decorporealized. Like, the crash came down, Cider moved, and like his body warped around, and as the shockwave rolled towards Aquas, and Cider absorbed the attack, but vanished, and Aquas falls on his butt, but he looks physically unharmed, but he just grabs his head as the psychic backlash washes over him. So, yeah, completely decorporealized his spirit and left him with 3 wear on from the psychic assault. Okay, a little chaotic. Lot of collateral damage. Don't do that in a city, but good. I have a headache all day, but good.
I would hope in a city we don't have to, defend ourselves. Like, I mean, I know mugging's a thing, but like, there's better ways around it.
No, you're good. Let's go tell the captain.
Woo!
See what I mean by how it can take a while, but then it just kind of is over. All right, so you walk your way back to Hopton and seeing those familiar towers. Alysse, this is a kind of a rare angle for you. You're not usually walking into town. Guy, you kind of go in and out of the city a lot. More training opportunities. Although a lot of times the patrols will send you back saying, what are you doing over here? And you head back to the Shruft estate. He's like, hi. This one's actually kind of scary. I think it's less important that we... May I speak plainly, Captain? She narrows her eyes at him. Like, you may. I think it's less important that your daughter has protection and more important that he has someone to keep an eye on him. Regardless, I think this is a great match.
Like I said, brains, brawn, one whole adult.
I finally defeated Master!
You keep saying that. Dude, I'm a rank and file. Whatever. Chef kind of rubs her head. Like, I suppose I don't really have a right to stop you. Where do you plan on going? Not towards the Kozensky, I hope.
I definitely know the name of. That's like a safe option.
So, the countries immediately surrounding Mauchi. You have.
Do we have to leave the country for the journey? I thought it was just leaving your home.
No, you have to leave the country.
Oh, I missed that part.
The countries surrounding Mauchi are Grutan, Kozensky, Ithertan, and Muspeltan. Oh, there's also the archipelago nations. That's it.
Let's do that one.
I'm not gonna say no. So just a little background in each of those. In a real game, you might call for a knowledge check on this somehow, but I'm not gonna bother here. So officially the Republic of Grutan, that's the one furthest north, which is the opposite side of where you are. It's completely north of Mauchi. You're on the south side of Mauchi. Officially the Republic of Grutan, this country is ruled by a complex system of politics wherein anyone with clout can affect policies. Officially, this means anyone can make a difference. In practice, it boils down to guildmasters, political lineages, and high-end academics, and the simply rich can basically affect policies. They tend to have a cyclism approach to belief in spirit companions, that they are nothing more than a manifestation of one's own conscience or subconscious, as opposed to creatures unto themselves. The Kozensky are an enigma. They're the ones bordering Hoptan Cold. They appear to be very violent, or the country as a whole seems to be very aggressive. And the few reports from like the border nations or the border cities say that the populace are unsettling in some ways. And most strangely, it is the only country reported to not have wild spirits, insofar as they have gotten into the country. Ithertan is a caste society, but the caste is based on what type of spirit you have, not on your actual lineage. So once you have your spirit, you're basically raised by people with water spirits for the most part. The water spirits are very much the caregivers of their society, and once your spirit is chosen, when you're born in their society, once your spirit is chosen, that's what determines your future, basically. And then they don't reject the Mauchi. Their economy is far from self-sufficient, but they don't really like Mauchi. They think they're too independent-minded. And then there's Muspeltan. Muspeltan is a land divided into 5 sections by 2 great spirits that circle each other, periodically cutting off one region for another for months at a time. And when the borders do open up, the regions that can now freely trade do so with gusto, engaging in energetic festivals that last a week or longer.
I like that one.
In addition to usual food, drink, and entertainment, these festivals are an excuse for very aggressive competitions.
That sounds like fun.
And then there's the archipelago nations.
So that last sounds the coolest, but I am curious. Where do beast and earth spirits stand in the caste system of the one place?
Earth spirits make you a builder, constructor. You're responsible for city planning and construction. And Earthertan. A beast spirit probably means you're some sort of hunter. Or
Let's maybe not do that. I feel like they probably wouldn't be the most amenable to a disabled person with a beast spirit.
Okay, Muscletan is in between Earthan and Grutan, so you will have to go basically north east of, so you're gonna have to cut through the country a little bit.
I think so. Okay, logistical questions about the journey. Do you have to spend? I know it's a year, and you have to leave the country. Do you have to spend that? Does the year start when you leave the country, or does the year start when you leave home?
When you leave,
and part of it is leaving the country.
When you leave the country.
Oh goodness gracious. Okay.
I will say Mauchi is not very big, so even though I'm saying you have to cut across, technically speaking, from like the outside perspective, the Winthal Mountains and the Mercantin Forest, they're considered part of Mauchi or the Netan, the Deadlands, but for the purposes of the journey, they're not. So as soon as you enter the Mercantin Forest, that would count. And Mauchi is really tiny. Like if you include all these like really big, like the big forest and the mountain range, it looks decent on a map, but the actual like space where people live is very tiny.
Okay. So it's like a few days, a week or two of in-country travel before leaving. Or are we still talking like months?
Oh, not months. No, absolutely not months. Wait, depends on how safe you are. Because the center of the country is taken up by highlands that have wild wind spirits called highland ghouls that just wash over them. You are familiar with this because in Halfton Cole has the salt line that basically stops them from coming into the city at all.
They sound neat.
Basically, every village in Mauchi has something that helps them with those wind spirits. Petre is built high up in the mountains that they have other spirits to deal with, but then they also have walls. Kotohima is built into this cliff face facing the ocean, so those spirits are way above them. Julie's built. Kotohime is in the opposite direction where you're going.
Oh.
It's a village. That faces the. I mean, if you want to go to the archipelago nations, but
where do you want to go? I forgot your name again. Alysse.
The archipelago nation sounds super cool, but I'm also getting the vibes that that's like one of the lesser developed areas, and so I'm thinking maybe we don't go that way.
Oh, it's not undeveloped. It just has nothing to do with this the setup.
Let's go to the place with the giant, with the wild spirit borders and the parties and shit.
Yay! That's the one I was hoping for.
I mean, you sold it very well.
So we're going to Kotohime?
No.
Oh.
Molsultan.
Ah.
Kotohime is the western Mauchi village facing the archipelago nations. You're heading to the northeast. So you probably, when you explain your plans, Aquas crosses his arms, just like, so I guess you could head. You can get there two ways basically. You can go to the capital and just like skirt around the edge of the mountains. Go between the worst. You'll be in both the mountains and the forest, but you'll be in the least worst part of both of them. Or you can go to Stillhaven and get a guide to take you more northern.
Would you have a recommendation? I mean, I'd love to see the capital, but if the other way makes more sense.
Stillhaven would start your journey faster. Stillhaven, they also are generally more helpful. They're more helpful, nice folk there. They tend to their trees to keep to keep the wild spirits from in check. They just are nice to them, Good folk. Probably find someone to help you out there.
I like nice people. Let's go to the nice people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn to Elisa and be like, I'm gonna leave that to you. You're the smarts. I'm gonna go gather my stuff and I'm gonna run off.
Cool. Yeah, we're going to Stillhaven. Time to get things.
Oh, okay. You don't want to hear the pros and cons of Petra. Okay, yeah. So let's go. Yeah.
I've got the rest of my life. I'm sure I'll visit the capital at some point. I want to get this over with.
At 14, we don't really care about the details. I'm not there though. Just so we're clear.
So okay. So Uncle's like, okay, Captain. I mean, they can't travel with an adult once they're out of the country. I can take them to Stillhaven though, if you sign off on my leave. She looks like she's about to say yes out of hand, and then kind of like catches your eye, closes her mouth, and says, "I believe that would be their decision." Took some effort for her to say that.
Sure. Come along. That'll be cool. And it'll be easier to get things started faster.
Yeah. Also, Highland ghouls are no joke.
Yeah, I'd rather not have to deal with that. That just... Nope.
There's not really a way to not deal with them, unfortunately, if you're cutting across the country. But, we'll figure it out.
I'll help.
He's about to step away. He's like, "Can Granite do the, Earth reshape thing? That'd be super useful."
I'm not there.
I don't know.
That's why he's asking Alysse.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he can. All I know is the up and down, and that's the one he's most proud of.
It is. I guess I'll just... Okay, I'll go get packed. I guess, give me some time to recover so that Cider's at full strength. And then I guess I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all.
This is gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Alright. Any special preparations? Because I assume y'all are gonna have, like, the basic equipment. You're gonna have rations. You're gonna have rope. Guy, you don't have the resources, but, Alysse has resources enough for both of you, so...
The most important part is food.
Can I make a pit stop at whoever, because I know it wasn't me, because I don't have any sort of, like, engineering abilities or anything. Whoever it was that originally made my wheelchair. Can I, like, get a tune-up on that, and also maybe see if there's a way I can make it a little more rugged in case I end up needing it in the wilderness?
Alright. So the person in question is, a guy who, he's a few years older than you, actually pretty fresh from his own journey. He actually did upgrade it somewhat recently, because before he left on a journey, he kind of designed it for you. He was an apprentice to the person who designed the original version. It was functional. He came back from the journey and made it so that it could fold up. And he has very thick round glasses like this, and he you like walk into his workshop, which he's already basically taken it over from his mentor. Like now suddenly there's more of his projects around than his mentors. And you see him moving around, and he doesn't even like seem to realize you walk in. Clearly hasn't shaved, in spite of the fact that he can't grow a beard. It's just like it's all patchy everywhere. He's just bent over his work. Okay. So.
Mika just kind of does a low growl.
He doesn't look up. He just reaches over and pats Mika. Yeah. Okay. So just.
Hi.
What?
How did that scare you when the growl didn't?
It seemed like a content growl.
So I'm going on my journey tomorrow.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
It's, kind of sudden.
I mean, I've only been trying to get my mom to let me do it for like months.
That's her. There's like what looks like a very big pink flower on his back, and it just starts moving, and it moves up to his shoulder, and you see that it's like a underneath the flower, like about 2/3 the size of the flower is a sort of quadrupedic, quadruped with these really thick, stubby limbs and a fat, but somewhat squat head, and it just kind of comes up to him and just like, it seems. If you like look at it from one angle, he looks content. If you look at it from like you just shift your head a few degrees, it looks like he's glaring at Mika. He just kind of reaches up and scratches under his chin.
Mika just kind of narrows her eyes and growls a little bit. Also, you have me saying it now too.
Mika. Like the actual name. Micah. Okay, got.
Yeah. Anyway, and I like pull the wheelchair off of my back and set it on the thing. Any upgrades you can maybe make to this in a day, like possibly being able to use it outdoors a little bit more, just in case something happens to Micah and I have to roll around in it, not on like a pretty cobblestone street.
Man, I mean, it took a while just to get the, oh, I got it, retractable spikes.
Can you do it by, like, tomorrow late morning?
What? No guarantees on quality?
Quality of upgrade or lessened quality of wheelchair?
The integrity of the wheelchair as a whole should not be affected, probably. So, but if I can't get the retractions right properly, you could. There's no guarantee that the spikes will last forever. I could say that if you're going to be using it harshly, I can guarantee-ish a week.
Well, the goal is to be using it rarely, if ever, and I just kind of pat Micah on the head. This is if things go really bad really fast.
Okay. I'll do my best.
You're awesome! And we basically sprint out.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll his engineering check. He is quite good, so got a solid 4.
My you're awesome was a coordinate. Might as well.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and roll that.
Wow, that's
2 or 1.
I rolled a 1. I got 1 effort.
What happens on a tie?
On a tie. We next ally in turn order gains 1 advantage.
Ah,
If
So,
If
and
not
that's-
used on the next turn, it's lost. But yeah.
okay. Actually, kind of want to take a look at that real quick while we have moments. The difficulty of making it off road. By DR equal to number of targets. I feel like that maybe that should actually target a minimum of 2 people, but that's a decision to make later. You see the logic of that, right?
Because otherwise a tie is still basically a success.
No, it was more like you're coordinating a single person. I don't know.
I guess. I mean, it kind of just feels like sort of an upgraded aid action. Like that's. I know the name is coordinate, but.
Yeah. Yeah. Aid action is in some ways more versatile, but at the same time, you'd be rolling against the same difficulty. Okay, which brings us back to the question: how is the difficulty of making a wheelchair off-road?
And do we have electricity?
No.
Okay then.
So the answer is very. I mean, what I was basically envisioning was slightly thicker, more robust wheels, and maybe some I can't think of the word.
System of pulleys.
Not traction, suspension. Like a little bit of, so it's not just like.
Well,
How'd it go?
He did succeed.
How'd it go?
He does succeed with one effort.
Woo!
So that's good. So you spend. All right. Anything else you do before the morn? Before the morn.
Not for me. Just packing up stuff. Do I know anything? Is there anything else I can learn in the next couple of hours about the Society of
Muscle tan.
That might. Basically, I'm gonna go to the library. I'm gonna pack up really fast, and then I'm gonna go to the library and learn everything I can about muscle tan.
Okay, you can make a research check. Research investigate. That's intelligence. Probably not surprising.
To investigate, and my intelligence is 4. Decent amount.
Alright, and this is a foreign country, but it is a adjacent country that's pretty well known, so it's a 2DR, I think.
Dadgummit. It's a tie.
Yeah, it's a tie. So you get the you do get information, but it's like pretty much all the information that you're used to getting. You know, they like their like the competition. Not all the countries available at all times. You don't get the names of the great spirits, surprisingly, but you do know that they are so even though they're like mechanically there are 8 spirit types in the base game, there are actually a bunch more typed spirits. The 2 great spirits that circle each other are known as a volcano spirit and one's volcano and one is and the other one's just called Typhoon. That one's actually pretty much just a wind spirit. It's called Typhoon, so actually you do learn that name. You learn it. One's Typhoon, the other one's some kind of volcano spirit.
Oof.
But they're both great spirits, and they kind of They kind of appear to be almost chasing each other. There's like a ring of volcanoes in the country. And they like kind of chase each other, and that kind of like shuts off parts of the countries from each other.
Nifty. That's it.
All right, Guy and Granite, y'all up to anything?
Packing my bags, telling everybody that didn't believe in me to F off. You know, I'm finally doing it. What are you doing with your life? These are all 5-year-olds who are the only people who talk to me. And wait for Alysse to find me.
You'll never come back, Guy.
Don't threaten me with good time.
What?
What?
I can't tell if that's a child or an old lady.
Yes.
Goodness gracious.
All right.
Might we have a moment for a quick bathroom and stretch break?
All right, I'm going to deafen this. Okay. So we will be right back. Hello. So waiting on Manny. Any thoughts from the chat while we're on a break? Whoa. Everyone left. Why would you leave? We really should be right back, because it kind of looks like we just have been running for an hour without without anything happening. That damage output though. Gotta make that a little more nuanced.
That sounded crazy, and that was with only a 3-meter toss. It gets worse if he's higher up?
Yeah, but he also takes damage himself.
Yeah.
That's like that was like the idea behind it. Is like you take a lot of damage yourself, and then you can deal a ton of damage. Also, it was designed to be hard to initiate. I didn't think about just chucking the spirit.
Yeah, I'm the best beta tester because I keep putting things in you didn't think of.
You're
and
both
no sane person would think either.
You're both pretty good at this. You've both come up with very surprising ideas. I kind of I didn't understand Aquas at first when you built him. I kind of love the design now. Completely flips the whole trainer Pokemon dynamic. Okay. Let's just keep rolling. Again, if you have any comments, since we're in the future, I might be like not able to split my attention. There aren't that many though here though, so I might go ahead and make comments if you want. I'll do my best to keep up, to reply to them without interrupting the flow too much. You know what? Let's just reintroduce the entire concept because not everyone is here at the beginning of the stream. This is a This is the beta test for Mauchi Tales, a tabletop role-playing game that's about having your own spirit companion. And I just realized I just like covered up the face of the spirit companion. Maybe we should toggles lock. Let's just move this over. Roll 20 or not roll 20. Tabletop physics. Woo. We'll just move it over here so it's like in the black area. Anyway, so the idea is that you have a human, and every human, be it PC or NPC, has a spirit companion. Spirit Command. Okay, just for those of you just joining us, look at that Pandolin. It's so good.
I drew him.
So good.
Spirit Companion.
I kind of traced some of it.
So looks
Over
very.
a real pangolin.
So looks very good. I really like his expression. I like the Spirit Companion over there too. So, yeah, it's every one of those human with creature anime you've ever seen. That's kind of but set in a not very vaguely Tolkien-esque world, but with a lot of the world building built around the idea that everyone has. So ideally that would like alter how like societies work and whatnot. And the system works off of just D6s, so you probably have all the dice you need, even if you aren't into tabletop role-playing games. I don't know. Liz, how would you describe it?
Fantasy Pokemon, but also you don't have to go and be a trainer. You can just like live a life, and there's rules to do it, which is really cool.
Manny, how do you see it?
Wait, I'm sorry.
How do you see the game as a whole? Like, how?
Awesome.
All right, let's just keep moving.
I don't know what I was supposed to say.
Does this still work? Oh, okay. It kind of works. So, you guys are ready to begin your journey. So, boo. So, y'all gather you guys have your supplies gathered. Micah, your Malion, by the way, is the engineer's name. He brings you your upgraded wheelchair. Wow, word. Yeah,
Getting late.
he brings you your upgraded wheelchair, and he's just like, all right, so essentially it's mostly just better treaded and thicker wheels. Still folds up nicely. Added a little bit of storage compartments, so.
Ooh, nice.
I'm tired. I'm gonna. Good luck.
You're awesome.
And he stumbles back away. So, you set out for the salt wall, which, as usual, there is at least a few groupings, squads, kind of moving up and down the wall. Mauchi, the Halftime military is pretty much broken down into basically the smallest sections possible. And it's just all these tiny little groups of people kind of more or less doing what they think is best. And it's kind of a weird thing for a military. But so basically, they just kind of see Aquas, and most of them know Aquas, and they're just like, come up and they like have a brief conversation. Not really challenged. It still takes you a long time to get past them because Aquas won't stop running his mouth.
At some point, Micah just comes up behind him, and he just hears this, like subtle growling as something backs up behind him.
Anyway, we should be on our way. We do have an opening. We do have a cut through just a few hundred meters up that way. Thank you. And the cut through is basically is a tunnel in the salt wall. Like they use various substances to basically congeal some of the salt into a more sturdy surface around, and allows them to cut through the wall that they've created. And it intentionally winds. Like, it goes in at an angle, and then after it goes in a bit, it goes straight along the wall before angling back out again. And there are tunnels going off in different directions, but Aquas walks with absolute confidence, explaining the entire time that, like, the angles prevent the ghouls from, like, from getting in without slamming into the wall, the interior walls as well. All right, and because of the windingness, you hear the highlands before you see them. Just endless. Chris Moist's impression is really good.
This is a weird. From my perspective, there was a slight whistle sound in the middle, then nothing, and then you say that.
Hang on.
What?
Hang on. Can I turn off the noise suppression long enough for it to work? All right, let's see if this will work. How was that?
Yeah, that's better. Very jarring, but better. I can hear it now.
And every once in a while, just kind of a. Wow, it's really just. It just can't come to. It's just. I turned it back on for some reason. I thought it would pick it up because I was kind of making syllables, but no, it's just like.
I just heard. Sorry.
I feel like there's a lot to unpack here.
Point is, there is a wordless, like you've almost occasionally hear the text what you think might be like sound, like syllables, like trying to form words, but ultimately it's just a wordless cacophonous layering of moans and wind howls. And as you're coming up to the last turn, Aquas kind of like puts his hand back and kind of leans around, like, okay. How either of you have any experience traversing the Highland?
I've never been out of town since before yesterday.
Just walk, right?
Y'all would have died without me.
This is why I said you should come along.
Okay. So essentially, the key to the to traversing the Highlands is to stay low.
Elise just like takes it literally and just kind of sits up straighter and then flops onto Micah, so she's basically just like laying on top of him.
I'm gonna get on all fours like a crab. Like that?
Stand up. No, I mean topographically. We're going to stick to any ridges. We're going to stick to the lower parts of any ridges. We're going to go around rocks, not over them. That sort of low increases the chances of the Highland ghouls going over your head instead of through you, which hurts, by the way. Just in case you were wondering, it hurts.
That concept goes over my head.
I'm gonna leave you behind.
Elise just like slightly muffled by all the flowers she's got her face stuffed in right now. I think I'll just stay like this so it's comfy and slower to the ground.
Okay. It's also gonna be a little difficult to talk at times, so just I don't know. Stop. Food. We'll figure it out. Follow. And he gestures for you to follow. And you step out.
Bathroom.
He doesn't answer. Keeps walking. And steps out into the Highlands, proper. And from what you heard of it being completely, from being it being a desolate land, in fact, it's called Natan, the Deadlands. There is actually quite a bit of foliage. It's mostly brown or very dark drab green, not like bright, vibrant green. But you can already see there's a lot of really tough foliage, and you can even see a lot of creatures that are kind of mimicking the poses that you two just took, in that they are very wide legged, low to the ground creatures, like lizards, but some of them are quite a bit larger than a lizard. This goes to the salt wall, and where a lot of the Highland ghouls turn away from before they even get this far. There's a lot more creatures down here too, so you actually see quite a few of them scurrying about. So, is there anything that either of you can think of to do to help in this traversal? Wow.
I can do the thing I always do.
This is true. Nobody here has nature. This is gonna go great.
We throw
Listen,
something.
there was a reason I said, yeah, no, let's have the NPC come with us.
The NPC doesn't have nature either.
What's the point then?
He can fight.
I can fight. I defeated Master.
One-time deal, man. One-time deal.
One is all it took.
Okay, so he is kind of looking around. He's just like, okay, just stay low. And he actually has a map, so that's helping him out a lot. And he's just looking for markers on the map. First day passes, and other than the fact that it was very difficult to get to sleep because of how constant the wind is, you don't see much. You're not even sure you even saw a ghoul, or if you did, they were too translucent and ephemeral to really nail down. The second day, you're moving along, and actually you even had a fire the first night because you were able to find a steep enough outcropping to actually guard it well enough to to light it. Second day, things start to get quite a bit more miserable. You're just kind of trudging along. I'm gonna have him roll his nature.
Coordinate!
Honestly, you don't need to coordinate because you can just take the basic help action, and that's about all that will help because he only has one.
I help.
Yeah. Okay. Basic help. Never mind. I was gonna say monkey spirit would help, but that's the spirit aid action. Would that count?
I mean, you can make the spirit aid action, but yeah, actually that could help because that can actually add just straight up effort to it. What's this?
Yeah. Because monkey spirit, when the beast uses spirit aid action, the beast spirit generates 1 additional effort on a success.
Okay. What are your expressions again? You have coordinate and comfort. Okay. So you can make a basic spirit check, and we're gonna say navigating the Highlands. There are a lot of markers, and you have a map, so we're just gonna say it's 2 DR. I believe a basic help action for you is 3 if you're doing a 2PL.
It's a good thing I got that third one in there. 1 success.
1 success. That just gives him that can just give him. Oh wait, you have monkey, so it counts as 2 effort total because he rolled a 0 on the difficulty. So you can add an effort to what he rolls. Which I don't I know he rolled a 4 the first time. I don't remember what he rolled the second time. 2. All right. Generated 2 effort total on the whole dealio. Yep. So the beast spirit does have a natural instinct for the wilderness. And spirits can also sense other spirits. All right. So there was a point where there was basically 2 lowland areas, and he was like looking at the map. He's like, this is not marked. I can head slightly north. I can head slightly east. They both go down. And eventually Micah just kind of like nudges him towards the north. And because of that, you guys are able to light a fire the second night. However, before that night comes, you start to see the Highland ghouls in proper. They look like tattered images. Like they look like almost like 3-dimensional paintings that have been torn at the back. Completely translucent. None of them like the other. Like one of them was like an old man with a beard flowing behind him. His robes come out looking, and that's where the tattered, like the bottoms of the robes and the backs of the arms look, or what looked tattered. A woman in a dress, horses where you can only really see the front legs and fully, and that kind of like whipping in the wind back end doesn't even reach all the way to the hind legs, and there's a chariot without a horse, and that one, but just like the horse, it doesn't go as far as the back wheels, and they're just kind of like fading into existence, and then as they get close, they kind of fade out, and you just feel like a brush of cold air on your face. And Aquist is kind of looking around. They're not, well, none of them seem to be particularly angry at the moment, so that's good. Just keep your head down, stay alert. We're going to make a watch tonight. I'll take first. So his awareness is 3. That's good. So yeah, you guys do get a fire. So a little bit of extra comfort for the night.
Yay.
And he's just sitting there for a moment. Finally, he just like gives up. And he goes over to Alysse and kind of puts his hand on her shoulder. Hey. Yeah. Just I did half the night. Just watch for a couple hours and then wake Guy for the last of it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. You okay?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. I was snoring.
I sit up and corporealize Micah again.
Yeah. You are not snoring nearly loud enough to drown out the wind. You give it a good go, but no. So if you could make a awareness check.
Awareness is wisdom?
Sorry, this is technically a notice check. So yeah, yes, it is which is awareness, but yes, it is wisdom in this case.
It is a whopping 1. Hey, I generated an effort.
Which is still a failure in this case. And so you're just kind of looking around, and you look through the fire a bit. Hang on. Beast spirit.
I was about to say.
Beast spirits, I believe, have it's part of their basic qualities.
When the beast spirits corporealize, it grants the host advantage on notice checks equal to half the spirit's
Doesn't matter, because you already generated the effort. Good to know though. So yeah, Micah kind of like looks up a little bit just to make sure you're paying attention, but other than that, it's just like meh. Lays back and kind of puts his head back down.
What are you doing? You don't need to sleep. You're a spirit. And I kind of boop her.
It is still a cat, and it makes it known. Yeah, so it's a good night for the most. It seems to be not quiet by any means, but you don't see any more spirits. You don't see any more Highland spirits, at least not in this dark den. Which darkness in the Highlands is pretty crazy. Is actually pretty crazy. As the stars are basically they're so thick in the sky that some of them form streaks, and you see just kind of these bright purple streams through the air, and parts of it like light up the Highlands. Some of the dust in the Highlands, and some of the lighter colored rocks like glow in the dark. But your watch passes, and it's time to wake Gai.
Where am I?
Hi.
Where are we?
In the Highlands.
Oh, it wasn't a dream. I actually did go.
Yep. Try not to die.
And okay, you can make your awareness check. Do you want to corporealize Granite during this?
Yes, he will sleep on my head.
Okay.
Although I was just informed that they don't sleep, but he's going to do it anyway. Nature, untrained, that is...
Awareness.
Awareness. I have a 1 in that.
So you can roll 2. And it's your wisdom.
I failed those.
None of you are very good at keeping watch, it turns out. And in your case, Gai, as something actually does happen, one of the horse-like Highland ghouls, which as it comes galloping in, you actually see way more of this one, and the tattered effect is kind of in the mane and in the tail, as long as it's in its hindquarters and the back of its legs. So you kind of see all the entire shape. It has actually 6 legs as it just gallops through and gallops straight through the campfire, spreading it around. And the flames start going everywhere.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, so a lot of this thick, hardy brush is still flammable. So the campfire it goes through the campfire, spreads the fire around, and suddenly there is a fire alight next to Alysse.
Wake up!
I
Wake
presume
up!
that wakes me up. Or do I have to make... That was so loud. Someone just fell upstairs.
Okay. So the fire itself would not necessarily wake you up. Again, the Highlands are constantly loud. If you fell asleep at all, there's a good chance you would still. I would say go ahead and make a notice check. There's going to be no resistance to this because it is still heat and everything next to you. However, you do have total disadvantage on when you're asleep to awareness checks. So
I mean, it doesn't matter because I only have 1 anyway, so it's just this.
What's your awareness or your wisdom?
Wisdom is 4.
It does wake you up. Let's see if it wakes. I'm not set. Well, his awareness is pretty good. This has got to work. Well, it is total disadvantage though. Okay. It doesn't wake him up. So you're both awake. Your guide is passed out. So yeah, you wake up and there's just Guy is yelling, screaming, and there's just fire in your face. What are you both doing? At least you were both prone and also not actually capable of getting up very quickly.
Okay, weird question. Which I think I might have asked before, but I don't remember. How does the corporealization process work physically? Like, could I summon Alysse or Micah under me, and so it like comes into being and pushes me up, and I'm like, as it's summoned, I'm on top of her?
You being the host, yes. You would not be able to do that to another creature necessarily, unless that's like specified. But you being the host, absolutely, you'd be able to just summon it. Summon Micah underneath you. It's sort of like. For the most part, like you can stylize it how you want. For the most part, I think generally corporealization is like bright particles form in the air and then like coalesce together and then form the creature.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do that, and she just like generates underneath me, so I'm on top of her. And then gonna run over and basically just take her front paws and go whoosh on Aquas's chest. Wake up!
Ah! What? Fire! Fire!
Yep.
All right.
I don't suppose Cider can like smother natural fire with spirit fire and like then put it out, can he?
Actually, yeah, it's not that difficult, and he just kind of like. It is, in fact, an ability of fire spirits. They can snuff out a space of flame with an action. So, let's see how long it takes them, because now each of those have a chance to spread. There's basically in 2 spaces right now. So let's see. One of them spreads, so it's back to 2. Okay, they don't spread. Good, it's good. It spreads on a 1 to 3. So yeah, it takes him like half a minute to put it out. Sorry, it's just a very surprising situation, and Cider's just like stamping around. Maybe we should douse the fire before we maybe we should not do any more fires as we get into the worst part of the highland.
We're not in the worst part yet?
Oh, nope. But good news is we're cutting straight across and we're making good time. So basically, we'll be in the worst part for a day, and then it'll start getting a little bit better as we get towards the forest. But then, of course, you'll be in the forest. But hey, at that point, you won't be my problem anymore.
Yay!
Yeah, you do know about the forest, right?
Let's pretend I don't.
Oh.
Listen, I researched.
Muscle.
We should write it down.
Muscle 10.
I keep wanting to say muscle.
Kinda.
I researched where we're going. I didn't research Mauchi. We lived there. It didn't occur to me.
Wait, we're not going to Muscle Town?
Muscle 10.
Oh, I thought everybody was gonna be super buff.
From what I heard, there's probably a lot of buff people there. It's a very
half right.
yeah, they're very competitive sorts. Well, I guess we're awake. We can start walking for the day.
And while we're walking, you can tell us about this forest that you're excited to not have to take us through.
Well, I'm gonna take you through like just the edge of it, but to Sullivan. But for the most part, it's one of the more active dryad forests. You know, dryads are wild spirits that they anchor themselves to trees. Almost every tree in that forest has a dryad, which is a little unusual from what I've heard of the world at large. But like the center of it, like there's some great spirit, not like the massive ones like Winthal or Argonon. No, this is but you know, more powerful than the average wild spirit. I think they call him Old Man Willow, and he's
Is he old?
he's older than Mauchi.
So old.
Old,
Older than you.
probably.
Because you're really old.
I'm not. I'm 20, dude.
Yeah, old.
Where did you go on your journey?
Gruton. You know, standard. Like most people go to Gruton. A lot of drinking. That's what I did. A lot of drinking. What?
That just sounds boring.
I had friends that made it interesting.
Cool.
Most of them didn't come back with me.
That's
not
cool.
No, they're fine. They're fine. They just decided to live their lives elsewhere. Anyway, yeah. So basically, just still steer clear of Old Man Willow. And problem is, the further you get into the forest, the more the dryads are on his side. But Haven is called a haven because the dryads there are like humans, because the Haveners, I don't know what they call themselves. Regardless, the people at Haven take care of the dryads, which makes it a very safe place for being inside that forest. That's the bulk of it.
So you take us to Stillhaven, and then we hire a guy to take us out of Stillhaven to the border, and then we're good.
Yeah, you're lucky you're rich.
You're rich?
Ish. It helps when your mom's a military in a border town.
Her mother is a career officer. Rich is, yeah, ish is a good way to put it. Paid decently, yeah. Officers paid decently and don't have to worry about some basic expenses. All right. Okay, we are heading into the most dangerous zone because there aren't a whole lot of low-lying areas. When I said it's gonna be difficult to talk, it's been difficult to talk. We've been raising our voices this whole time. We're gonna have to shout for the next couple hours. And takes off his backpack, slams it down, and pulls up some rope. We're gonna need this.
Oh boy, that bad.
Amen.
I'm not the most dexterous, but I can try.
Your mic came out. I can hear you, but it's just not coming through there.
Oh.
There it is.
Let me make sure it's still on the right mic in the stream. Okay, yeah.
You're good now.
Okay, cool. All right, so for tying knots, I feel like you could actually use multiple skills here. You could probably use engineering, you could use nature, and you can use sleight of hand. I feel like all those are appropriate. And if I ever make the sailing skill like I wanted to, but felt like would bloat the base game too much, that would definitely qualify.
Hey Guy, are you any good at any of those things?
I can throw things. Can we do that?
How's your dex?
My dex is 3.
You're better than me.
Engineering is a 0. Nature is a 0. It's like, wow, everyone has 0s in these skills. All right, let's just, I mean, Guy or Aqua's doing it. It doesn't matter. It'd be the same roll. So, Guy, go ahead and roll 1d6. You want a 3 or lower, and you'll get an advantage from everyone working together on it.
No. Oh.
You have an advantage, but you landed on 6. But you do have advantage, so you can reroll it.
It just did a twirl in the air. It didn't even roll. It's not fair. Doesn't like me.
Ooh. Failed a 0 DR check with advantage. I mean, it's like a 25% chance of that happening. So, you guys put together knots and you're all trying to work it, and there are some jokes made at yeah, I don't see how Spirit Agent can help here. Actually, never mind. I was about to suggest that. I'm like, no. Fire, Beast, and Earth. Earth, maybe. Knots feel like a human thing. You all work. So you're all working together. You kind of basically do a lasso knot around each other, and you plunge into the highlands. The winds are blowing, and you can just have this onslaught of just a bewildering, swirl of creatures, facsimiles of creatures, all translucent and ragged. Some things are just objects, but most of them have this kind of like, all have this like fluid forward motion, and they all seem to be sweeping down towards you. And Aqua yells something from the front of the train, but you guys legitimately just cannot hear each other at this point. In all this chaos, I'm actually going to have everybody roll for initiative again, just so we can see how this is going to go. I did write some stuff down for this.
One effort.
How do I roll?
It's awareness with dexterity. Here, I'll go ahead and roll Aquas's here. Oh, come on, man.
I think I win.
Okay, you have 2. Alysse has 1. Aqua says 0, and all else fails. That's a 1. Okay, and I think their PL is probably higher than your dexterity, so. Okay, so Guy, you just see this, there's a moment where so many of these ragged, translucent things are coming towards you that it looks like a solid mass of insanity. Like a stable and a workshop, it kind of got melded together and is now barreling towards you.
Cool.
But you see it before it crashes into you. So, what do you do to prepare against it?
I have my spirit companion now, correct?
You can, yeah. I feel like you.
I am going to throw my spirit companion at its head to see if I can knock it off course.
It is not one entity. This is a bunch of entities.
I'm going to throw it at the blob.
Okay.
It's like, you can do this, Granite. Save us.
Is this a meteor thing, or is this just a chucking thing?
It's a chucking thing.
All right, so you can do the hurler thing. You can do athletics check and add a additional d6, and you have an advantage on it.
And that is...
Strength. So you don't need the advantage because he just rolled 4.
Yeah.
All right. So you can check him a full 8 meters. Just. Oh. You have 1 disadvantage. Sorry. You have keep forgetting it. He's heavy enough that you have 2 disadvantage, but you have 1 advantage. So you do have to reroll the lowest one. Hey, it's still 4, still 8. All right. You eat the pendulum.
Woo! Be
Does
all over me.
so yeah, you throw it. It's still a ways out, a good like 20 meters out, so it's like coming towards you, and Granite just plops onto the highland and just sends up a bunch of dust that goes billows out in a circle for just a moment before it just gets swept back towards you. What is Granite doing?
He's in a ball because he's scared.
Is he gonna take
He's waiting for me to help him.
He's gonna take a total defense action or something?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Okay. Now the Highland Ghouls are going to sweep past as a swirling mass. They're going to do a howling drag. They're going to move through Granite and just try to do a howling drag on him. This is a line attack, so you resist with 2d6. You're looking for 3 or lower.
Said 2d6?
Yeah.
That's 1.
And they rolled 3. Okay, so Granite is dragged along. Granite takes 2 air, so that's 2 will points. You would have recovered all your will points by now. So 1 to corporealize him, 1 for your start your turn as the stress began, and then 2 from the attack that he just took. And he also gets pulled 2 meters, except he's an earth spirit.
That's 5 will points I used.
Yeah, by my math. He is an earth spirit, which means you actually get an extra DR to resist that. So roll another one. Okay. You get
a roll either.
what?
That wasn't a roll. It like literally turned and then fell. Oh yeah.
So you take 1 less point of damage, and he's pushed back 1 less meter. So they like barrel into him, and he like curls up and is like trying holding up against it. And he curls up so much that he actually gets pushed into the ground a little bit and doesn't go back nearly as much. And they brush over him. But now they're coming straight from the main group. Alysse, what are you doing?
I'm gonna do the thing. The only thing I know how to do. Coordinate.
All right, who are you targeting here?
All 3, technically 4 of us. I can't reach Granite right now, but everyone else.
Okay.
Or well, it says any number of allies. Does that mean I can't count myself?
You can't count your own spirit, but you count as an ally to your spirit.
Okay, so it's Alysse, Gai, and
Aquis. Cider is not corporealized currently.
Okay. So Alysse, Gai, and Aquis.
All right.
Heal times 2, 4, plus 1 pack leader.
I'm starting to sense a problem with this power, and that's something to address later. There you go.
Okay, so that's what, 2?
Yeah.
the next person in initiative gets an advantage.
I believe that's a failure.
Oh, 3 is a... Every ally targeted suffers half resistance damage to their next active check during this event.
Disadvantage, okay.
Sorry!
So you try to direct everyone, and it gets... So I realize a little issue with that power is it's meant to be used for multiple people, but it gets worse the more people you aim it at. So I'm going to have to rework that. Alright, so... regardless.
I do understand it getting more difficult the more people you try to use it on, but the fact that it also, like, becomes less useful feels weird.
Alright, so that one's going to need some reworking. Good to know. But for the moment being, time being, he's going to, Aquas is basically going to turn around and it's just like, you're going to call it out. You end up trying to call out exactly how many meters they are away, and Aquas ends up just chucking his, basically using as a spotter, chucks his weapon, which is ranged. All right. Doesn't realize that he's throwing it long distance. Ah! Ooh, it's a dex. No. Oh, but hang on. That's the weighted objects, and this is the... Okay. 3.
Half resistance disadvantage.
Okay, so I can't...
I guess the resistance was 3, so do you round up or down?
No. It's like after canceling everything else, it was just 1, but it is always round up in the system. I completely screwed up that roll, so let me just do it from the beginning. Okay, so it's 4. He has 1 advantage from knack and 1 advantage from weighted object, but 1 disadvantage from a bad coordinate. So basically 1 advantage total.
The other roll was better. We're gonna die. The high level ghouls are just gonna bowl us over.
Nah.
Yeah, so he throws it, and it goes over a ridge. It just goes over a ridge. It plinks in front of him and drops over a ridge, and he's just like, ah! I'm never gonna get that back.
Sorry.
A corporealized. Oh. He used his action. Okay. Manny. Manny. Guy in Granite.
I'm gonna go wake up. What's his name? Because we kind of need his help right now.
Huh?
Did Aquas wake up? I thought he was. So
We are in the middle of the day at this point. You're lagging an entire event.
I'm sorry. I'm tired.
All right.
I
Well,
thought this was the same night for some reason.
it's the same day. It's like from when you guys woke up, but y'all definitely woke him up, and then this is like hours later.
Okay, my bad. I wasn't paying enough attention again. I apologize. I guess just ready defenses because I don't really know how we defeat a swarm.
So in point of fact, this is not a fight. This is a obstacle. Yeah, this
I
is.
thought they were just attacking us.
They are, but this is an endless ream of wild spirits. They won't end. This is about getting past the situation.
Run!
Yeah.
Just run.
Okay.
Run as fast as we can.
So you did throw Granite a good 8 meters away, and he is slower than you.
I'm gonna decorporalize him so I can
Okay.
run faster.
Not a problem. So you can take a main action to run if you would like. That does increase your speed quite a bit.
E.
And you can also take a run action, which can also increase your speed quite a bit.
E.
But for every unit you go over your main speed, your walking speed, you take disadvantage to physical checks.
E. Not E.
So, do you want to run all out, or do you want to just use your main action to keep moving? Keeping in mind that you guys are very loosely tied together.
Can I just like drag everybody with me?
Sure. Yeah, you can make an athletics check for that. Running, I guess. Well, you're dragging, really. You're dragging a long, large train of people that's almost certainly going to exceed your encumbrance. So we'll say this is a lifting check, so you at least get advantage on it.
That's not how advantage works. So I got 2 advantage, 2 athletics. Really?
I need to get better dice. Hey, it's a 3.
Cool. I did it.
Let's say you're dragging quite a few people, so we're just gonna be doing this. Wing.
Did Alysse get yoinked off of Micah?
You keep Micah corporealized, and this was all while you're awake, so they tied it around Micah. You guys are smart enough for that.
I was about to be like, oh god.
All right. 2 effort. I will say that's enough to basically get everyone else advantage on their athletics check. Or, you know what? We'll say it adds a speed. Well, it adds 1 unit of speed to Micah and Aquas. Which is enough to pull everyone along. But the Highland Ghouls are getting closer, and they are going to... They're gonna do another howling drag. This time they're coming up on the group proper. They're gonna move through you, and you just have this like you have a swirl of like like there's one that just kind of looks like a windswept tree being shoved through you, and a tattered owl, and if this is too harsh, it will blow your rope away. So everyone can defend with 2d6. 3.
What am I rolling? Oh, I think, yeah.
Fortitude or reflex. 1.
Yeah, just 1.
And for Micah?
1 and a 6.
And for Micah?
Yes,
the
the
1.
1.
A 1.
Oh, also,
No,
never mind. She would have been in monkey spirit. I was gonna say wolf spirit could help here, but she would have been in monkeys. I imagine the majority of the time I keep it in monkey.
Okay, so they rolled 3 effort, and all of you rolled 1 resistance. Ergo, y'all take 2 wear, and are shoved down. You're like shoved up the cliff that you're kind of like trying to use as a little bit of protection, and the rope just kind of like comes loose as it comes out off of Micah and like kind of like starts pulling around. It does start wrapping around Alysse's ankle. Alysse, it's your turn. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna assume. I feel like it's not that crazy of an assumption. Alysse keeps at least some sort of utility knife on her.
Seems reasonable.
I want to cut the rope off my ankle.
Okay.
Not taking chances with that.
All right. I will say there's almost no guarantee that you will fail to do this. Go ahead and roll, sleight of hand or engineering, whatever. Weapons melee, anything you think, any skill you think justifies this.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Literally, any physical skill is going to be a 1 for me.
Okay, and it's gonna be a dex check, basically to avoid cutting yourself. I don't think it.
Slice an artery.
Okay. With a.
It helps I don't have feeling in my legs, so, you know, there's that. I don't know if that's better or worse.
Possibly worse. Now, a light blade does an extra 2 wear on it. So you just took 3 wear. And if I remember correctly, you have 1 constitution?
Yep.
Cool. Well, you can mark off that 1, and you're going to take a tear plus 2. So just roll a d6.
Wait, I already took 2 wear, so wouldn't I have to mark off the 3?
You took where? Oh, you took where?
I just took 2 wear.
Oh, shoot. I didn't even think about that. And you only have 1 constitution, right?
Uh-huh.
All right, so you took 1 wear last time.
I took 2 wear last time.
You took 2 wear, so you mark off the 1 wear, you roll a d6 plus 1, and now you need to roll a d6 plus 3.
Oh god. Okay, so wait, what
Okay.
am I...
Roll 1d6 plus 1. Roll it again.
These dice.
Minus, and then minus is your constitution again. So that's a 5. Now roll 2d6 plus 3.
Alysse is about to get knocked out by a dagger.
Hey! That's a 4. So you have a tear value, you have a 4 tear value and a 5 tear value.
I did accidentally cut an artery.
I mean, they don't add together. It's just 2 different tears. Where and tear?
You said 4 and 5, right?
Yeah, 4 and 5. So the 5 from the being slammed into and the rope cutting around you, wrapping around you, and you're just kind of like forcing yourself to work through it. You are basically completely worn yourself out. I think for the time being, you only have Alysse herself will only have 1 action until she recovers the tear, or not until she recovers the tear, just for a day or oh, come on, a few days. And for the 4 from slicing yourself, you're gonna have a 2 disadvantage to rolls for the same amount of time. And you're gonna have to get those recovered. And Aquas is gonna panic and corporealize Cider. And is basically just going to yell at you, like he runs, like when Guy, you've gotten to the top and you look down and you see the tree line, and Guy and Aquas just yells, just go ahead, hang on, and he turns to face the horde and just has Cider bull rush them, basically. I'll catch up, go. You guys are going to make it for the tree line with just a trail of blood flying into the wind. That's where we're gonna have to leave it tonight. Ooh.
This is fine. This is fine.
I knew there was a high potential was happening when I built this character, but I didn't think it would happen so soon.
Yeah.
This is what the absolute end spectrum of min-maxing gets you.
Yeah, I mean, your character will be way more useful once you're out of the country, really, and once you're in Mosultown, that's when you'll be interesting. At the moment, you are very much a liability.
Big time.
All right. Some things to work out. Damage scaling is wacky, and What was the other thing? Oh yeah, the coordinate abilities. Both your expressions are actually need to be reworked, I'm pretty sure. But we'll work on the coordinate since that's the one that came up. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns from either our players or the chat?
Seems like we're gonna die. That seems bad.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, probably.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. It's all fine. You wouldn't kill a couple of kids, would you?
Famous last words.
Who's famous for those words? Okay. Well, I think that's probably good. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Again, if we reach 50 followers on Twitch, we will do a special one-shot of a established system. The one I'm thinking of is we're going to do a kind of randomized Fate one-shot. I'm very excited for it. And that will not slow down prediction or anything else. It will be a bonus thing. So if you enjoyed this sort of thing in particular, then definitely follow and encourage us to follow. Let me get the good old Discord link to put that in the chat. Yeah, to put that in the chat. So yeah, joining the Discord will keep you up to date on all of our plans. We are planning on streaming this beta test 3 times a month. They were scheduled for Tuesdays this month. I think the next one's going to be on Friday, too. I think that makes the most sense. What do y'all think?
Sounds good to me.
Sure.
So yeah, the next one will be next Friday. I'll update the Discord channel to reflect that. The test itself always starts at 7. We probably start streaming a little bit early, not at any consistent time, just generally earlier than that. Liz streams most Sundays. I stream most Mondays. And that's those are just video games, it's a bit of variety. And over time we'll see about adding more things. Anything else? If you join the Discord, you also get a link to the early access, which is a version of this game that qualifies as a minimum viable product. But it's being improved on there. But that's totally free. You can just go there, start playing today if you wanted to. Let me know what you think. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Take care of yourselves, and let's raid Will.
Bye, Z's.
Bye. Hang on. All right, stick around for the raid.
You stopped playing the moment I turned my mic back on. So